Pudgy Penguins has sold 13 million worth of toys in Japan. That's in 7-Eleven and that's in Family Mart. The price is not reacting. Maybe because the SEC still has not approved the ETF. What we see here is the Pengu price measured in US dollars. Now the dotted line, that's the average price since launch. Pengu tends to trade in a range. And if we were just to go back to that equilibrium, the price could go up by more than 140%. So is this potentially an opportunity? Let's say the SEC was to approve the ETF. That could be the potential gains. Hi, my name is Gerhard. I've been in the crypto space for the last 8 years. I hit my first million 3 years ago, and I did this mainly through active trading of altcoins. My track record is in the website down below. In the last 2 years, we made on average 47% per annum. With the current open positions, we are at an all-time high. There are currently 8 positions open, but those are of course available to the premium members. The track record with all closed positions is over here. And that's 100% available for everyone. And I don't think that many people here on YouTube are willing to share all of that data. Now, Pengu continues its cooperation with traditional retail. The Vibes Series 3 trading cards are now available at Target. Yet the number of holders of the Pengu token on chain, unfortunately, is not going up. This chart comes straight from the Pudgy Penguins website. There are 3 main catalysts for Pengu. We've got the NFTs, we've got the browser game, and we've got physical retail of toys. There are more than 3,000 physical stores that sell something related to Pudgy Penguins. And if the ETF filing was to get approved, it would be the very first one holding NFTs as well. So some people on X are already extremely bullish. Do those people objectively like the asset, or are they just trying to pump their bag? I try to be as objective as possible on this channel over here, and I also have an account on X. So if you are on Twitter, or now known as X, then feel free to check out this channel. The handle is @BitcoinStrat. So make sure that you follow the right account, not a scammer account, @BitcoinStrat. That's the real account. Now, relative to other altcoins, Pudgy Penguins actually tended to outperform. When we connect those two tops and we draw the parallel line with the recent bottom, we might just be at the perfect entry point. Here is Pengu relative to Bitcoin. Again, it looks like there's a very good chance for a bounce. Now, the question is always about the supply versus demand dynamics, as in we might get demand, but if the supply grows faster than the demand, the price will still go down. Tokenomics are really important in crypto. How quickly does the supply of a token grow over time? By the year 2029, so 2.5 years from now, we will have hit the hard cap. Then Pudgy Penguins does not dilute anymore. But until then, the circulating supply still grows. So 12 months from now, we will have 16.6% more Pengu tokens floating. And that goes to various stakeholders. In the end, Pudgy Penguins is another meme coin, and thus very much a risk on asset. It goes up and down with the attention on the asset. Here we've got the number of social engagements over time. So that's this bar chart over here, and the price, that's the line. Let's narrow this down to the last year. Just have a look at this. Attention and price correlates. Recently though, there is more attention while the price did not yet rally. Again, is there something potentially brewing over here? Now, there's not much trading volume on the spot market, only 5 million in the last 24 hours. On the perpetual futures market, we had 29 million. So really the price discovery happens on the perps. The funding rate tends to be rather neutral right now, so the same number of longs versus shorts. There's no clear preference by the short-term traders for the short-term direction of the price. We have seen though a short squeeze in July of last year. That's why the price went up. Too many people were betting on falling prices, and so the market makers just pushed the price up. But there is strong correlation between the trading volume on the levered bets and the Pengu price as well. So you want to buy whenever there's very little trading volume. We want to sell whenever there's a lot of trading volume. Currently, we are low, and so is the price. And that's again another hint that we might have an attractive entry opportunity. Now, open interest is the measure of how many bets are currently made on a particular asset using the derivatives market, using the perpetual futures market. It's also a measure of how much inherent leverage there currently is in the price. Because if you are long-term bullish on an asset, you rather buy this on the spot market. You take the slightly higher transaction fees, but at least you don't have to pay any financing fees. If you just want to get short-term into an asset, you might use the perpetual futures. The transaction fees are lower, but you have funding fees. In other words, if you want to hold this for several months, it's better to be in the spot market, not in the perp market. In other words, if the open interest on an asset goes up a lot, that means many people just want to be in the asset short term. But when open interest is low, there isn't that much short-term speculation. Just have a look at how much the Pengu price correlates with the open interest or with the leverage in the price. Whenever leverage goes up, whenever short-term speculation goes up, then the price goes up. Whenever short-term speculation goes down, the price tends to bleed as well. And currently, we are at historically low levels. Open interest of 55 million, while at the peak, it was at 650 million. Now, instead of just randomly guessing where the price might be going from here, I also like to run simulations of buying and selling. I try to backtest what would have been the best trading rule in the past. Now, what tends to work very well for altcoins is timing via golden crosses and death crosses. So we look at how do two moving averages cross. When do we get a bullish signal? When do we get a bearish signal? We just have to find out what is the best combination of those two moving averages. Now here we've got Pengu relative to Solana because Pudgy Penguins launched on Solana. We've got the best combination of the slow moving average and the fast moving average. Again, this is 40,000 backtests, and the best combination is over here. It's rather in the shorter term moving averages. To be more specific, it's the 8-day versus 11-day simple moving average. Historically, that would have outperformed buying and holding Pudgy Penguins without any leverage by more than 500% per annum. So it worked extremely well. Here is the performance over time. If you followed that trading strategy, that's what you would have gotten compared to just buying and holding Pengu. So a much more consistent, nice outperformance. And so this is what that means today. Right now, the shorter term moving average, the 8-day SMA, is below the 11-day SMA. That indicates Pudgy Penguins still has negative momentum. We should still be cautious. We might want to wait for buying up the potential bounce, at least for a few days until the price has stabilized. Once it does stabilize though, once we do get the golden cross, then the potential rally can be quite impressive. Now, I've already quickly shared my track record trading altcoins, but you can also specifically look into Pudgy Penguins. Now, not every trade here is a moneymaker. Now, I don't know why with this filter we also get the wormhole short, but have a look at this. Pengu plus 9%, plus 31%, then a few small losses, and then recently plus 10%. And the way I trade this is again by looking at the best moving averages, and it's golden in death crosses. So behind those dates over here, we've got the different signals. That's now in Telegram. We got a death cross over here, and then subsequently I closed that position once we got the golden cross. This strategy does not work every single time, but it works at least on average. And if we've got our proper risk management in place, I think the performance is still consistent enough. Now the rabbit hole goes very deep. You can watch hundreds of tutorial videos. You can also run your own backtests, be this with the assets that are already listed over here, or just by adding your own asset. Anything can be added over here. I just now randomly type something. You could trade the handy token, for example. I don't know what that is, but the backtester is quite flexible. You can of course keep it simple and just copy trade whatever I do. All the trades are announced in Telegram, but also via email. Or if you don't have time for manual copy trading, then there's also the automatic copy trading that's available for the annual subscribers. That has made so far 23%. Last year we got 44% annualized. I work hard on achieving the same again. But of course you don't have to go for annual right away. The best is probably to just start monthly, make your first money, and then if you want to, you can still reinvest that later. The most important thing is to not just follow random messages and try to trade the news, but to rather follow trading rules that historically worked very well. At least that approach has done wonders for me. And so it's better to wait with buying Pudgy Penguins until we get that golden cross, until the 8-day simple moving average goes above the 11-day moving average. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish here regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you next time here on YouTube, or see you on Premium. Link to that pops up here on the screen as well. See you next time. Cheers.